And joining us now to discuss immigration reform and other issues in the headlines this morning, Florida Republican Senator Marco Rubio. Sir, good to have you with us this morning.
Good morning.
Immigration seems to be this issue that comes up every so often, sometimes in line with a campaign, sometimes not, but then kind of falls by the wayside. Is there any sense of urgency? Is there room to actually get something done on this issue?
Well, I think it's an important issue. I'm not sure it's as important right now as the lack of jobs or the national debt or runaway government spending or our national security, although it's related to national security, but it's an important issue. And, you know, I don't approach this issue theoretically. I approach it from a real life experience. I mean, my parents were immigrants. My grandparents were immigrants. My wife's parents were immigrants. I've grown up my whole life around immigration. And I know immigration is an important part of our legacy. It's a critical part of our future. But we can't be the only country in the world that doesn't enforce its immigration laws.
We'll be following to see where that turns. I do want to get to the subject of Syria, though, because I know you've been very outspoken on the situation there. Obviously, so many Americans have been following very closely the events in the Middle East at this point. You're putting forth a resolution with Senator Lieberman asking the U.S. to sever ties with Syria, to pull the diplomats out. How, though, does that stop this regime from turning weapons on its own people? Is that enough?
Well, a couple things. Number one, the United States should be the leading voice in the world condemning what's happening in Syria. We should make it very clear whose side we're on. We're on the side of the Syrian people. The second thing that we need to clearly point out, and I hope the president will do, I hope he's headed towards doing that, and that is saying that the Assad regime is no longer a legitimate one. Anytime a government has to use government forces and army forces to kill unarmed civilians in order to hold on to power, that makes them illegitimate. And that's what's happening in Syria, and I hope the United States will be a clear voice saying that.
When do you see further action happening?
In terms of the U.S. position on it, I hope as soon as possible.
Yes.
Here in the Senate, I hope we'll begin today by filing this resolution. It'll be bipartisan. It'll have widespread support. I hope in this chamber here. I hope there'll be a companion filed in the House. And I hope the administration will follow suit. I mean, what we're hoping is that the administration will get more engaged on this issue. They've taken some measures on it already. The resolution recognizes that and commends them for doing that. But we're asking the administration to do more, to make sure the United States is the leading voice in the world condemning what's happening in Syria.
Do you foresee something going as far as even military action?
Well, I don't think anyone is advocating military action right now in Syria. I don't think that's really the right approach. I don't know of anybody who's advocating for that. I don't think that's the solution. I think the solution is to be a leading voice in the world. What the U.S. says on these issues matters to people. And we are still the most powerful and important country on earth. Other nations follow our lead on this issue, and they're looking from leadership for the United States. Even dissidents outside of Syria, people in Syria, have told us this, that what the United States says matters and it's important, and they're looking for us to be a clear voice on their side on this issue.
I want to touch now on the photos of Osama bin Laden. As a member of the Senate Select Committee, you can see these pictures. First of all, have you seen them? Will you see them?
I have not seen any pictures. I'm not sure I need to see those pictures because I can tell you I know bin Laden is dead. The reason why we know that is because al-Qaeda has admitted it. And if bin Laden's not dead, why doesn't he produce a new video proving that he's not dead? I think we need to move beyond that right now. And I know there's a lot of curiosity about all of that. But the reality of it is the United States scored an important victory in the war against terror. The war's not over. There's a lot of other engagements to be fought, but we've made progress. And as I said last week, I congratulate the president, the national security team that he's assembled, and especially the men and women of our armed forces who carried this mission out.
And just to be clear again, so you have no interest at all in seeing those pictures. You don't need to see them.
I don't. I mean, I don't. I think I understand why people are curious about them, but the reality of it is that that's not the important issue. The important issue is bin Laden is dead. The United States carried out a successful military operation. There are other questions I want to see answered that are much more important than what the pictures look like.
All right, Senator Marco Rubio, good to have you with us this morning. Thank you.
Thank you, Erica. Thank you.